One of my favorite features inside of Microsoft Word is mail merge. This allows you to take a database or a collection of addresses or information and create one letter or one document and apply it to all that information and that data and basically write multiple letters or multiple documents at the same time. What I like to use this for is to create labels, or mailing labels especially. So in this, what we're going to do is we're going to take the data that is found inside of this Excel document, and I have my first name, last name, street number, city, state, zip code, and phone number. And from this document, I'm going to create lists, or I'm going to create a mailing list or mailing labels that I can use this information for. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to my Word document. Oops, wrong one. So back in my Word document, to create a mail merge, go to Mailings, and in here there's a couple of options. You can just click over here on Labels and print individual labels, but I want to do a mail merge. So to do that, I'm going to click right here where it says Start Mail Merge, and I'm going to choose Labels. Now, when you do mail merge, you have a couple of options. Let me cancel out of this. You can go down and you can do labels if you know what you're doing, and you go from on the top from left to right. As you go, each thing will light up. You can see right now the couple of items over here are not selected, are not highlighted. You can either click on that and go directly through each step, or if you're unsure how to do it, I recommend using the step-by-step mail merge wizard. So let's actually do that. Step-by-step mail merge wizard, and that shows up on the right hand side. Now this will let you create labels. We're going to go ahead and select labels here. We're going to choose Next Starting Document, and we can use the current document that we're using, and it gives us that option, Start from Existing Document. But what we're going to do is we're going to choose what size labels we're using. To find out what size label you're using, look at the bottom or on the back of the label. It should say something like Avery 5060 or something like that. I'm going to select on this, and it pops up and it gives me some label options. It gives me the label vendors, and you can see there's a list here. Avery is one of the more popular ones in the United States, so I'm going to select that one. And the labels that I have were labels 50, and I typed in the keyboard the 5 so I could get there. I'm going to scroll, and I'm going to go to 5160. And these are easy peel mailing labels, and they fill across. They're 1 inch, so it shows me the size there. That's the label I want to use, so I'm going to click OK, and you can see it puts in these guides showing me how big the labels are actually going to appear. Now I don't want to have to type in all of the information that I have. I want it to put the information in here automatically. So what I need to do is choose where the data is coming from. I can click on Next, step 2 of 6, click Next, or I can click Select Recipients up here. And you can see I can either come up here, type a new list. This is showing me the same information that's over here on the side. We're going to continue going on the side. I want to use an existing list. I click Browse, and my list is on my desktop, so let me just select that. I click Open. Now my data is in sheet 1, and the first row of data contains column headers. That was the first name, last name, street, and all of that information. I'm going to go ahead and click OK. Now it shows me what my information is. I can choose simply by clicking on the names which names I want to include, or I could filter the names by clicking Filter down here. I could tell it first name. Maybe I want to block out everybody whose name is John. I can type in John, and it will show me John. I did the filter so it shows him, and I could change it so not equal to. It shows me everything but John. What this will do is this will only import that information. You can use this, maybe you're trying to send letters to people in certain states. Now if you have a filter on and you want to turn off the filter, just click Filter, Clear All, and it will remove the filter. Click OK. So if you have a long list, you can choose who you're sending your documents to simply by filtering out the information. So now I look at this, it looks right. I'm going to click OK. Inside of our labels, it says Next Record on each of these labels. What we want to do is lay out this first document, or this first label, how we want it to look, and have the rest of the records appear that way. So let's go ahead and lay this out. To lay it out, we've already selected our list, so we've completed step 3 of 6. Let's click Next, Arrange Your Labels, and it has some preset settings that we can use, such as an address block, and that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to click Address Block right there, and it shows me an example of what the address block will look like. I can choose how I have the name, and it shows me a preview here. But looking at this preview, there's something missing. It's the street. If we look back at our Excel document, we will notice that we have the street and number listed there, so it should show up, but because Excel does not recognize street and number, it doesn't know where to place it. So if we come here where it says Correct Problems, we can look and see there are problems in the address. Click on Match Fields, and we're going to look down and see what Excel recognizes, and it looks like address 1, that's the one it doesn't recognize. So I'm going to change that to street and number. I click OK, and now it does look like a correct address. I select OK again. I have my address block. I finished step 4. You can add more items if you want, such as maybe I want a phone number afterwards. To do that, I want to put on the line after, so I'm going to press Enter. Now I have the space down here. I'm going to add more items, the phone number, click Insert, Close. Now I don't see it yet. I haven't merged the information, but I can preview it by going on to the next step. So I click Preview Your Labels, and it only shows me one label. That's because I haven't updated the label to match all the others. So if we go back one step, by clicking on Previous, Arrange Your Labels, I can now update all the labels, and this will replicate or duplicate this information into each label, and that's what this next record is indicating, is it's going to put the next record of whatever we put there. So go ahead and click on Update All Labels. It puts the information in there. Now we're going to preview our labels, and you can see the labels are there. Now some tweaking would be required to make the text all fit, but we're going to leave that for right now how it is. Some tweaking you could do just to show you. You could select it and highlight it and start going through and changing the font size, the layout. We're going to leave it as it is for right now. Click Next, Complete the Merge, and now you can either print, which will send this straight to your printer, or you can edit individual labels. I recommend doing this one. It will create a new document, and you can double check to make sure everything is set up correctly and to make sure your labels are in your printer correctly. So click on that. It's going to ask you which records you want to merge. A record is just the individual information. I'm going to choose All, hit OK, and you can see I now have my document with the individual labels created inside there. This works for small lists or large lists, and it just works great when you're trying to create something such as labels, and you can print out a lot of information from one document.